That's the thought process. Like, oh my God, she's so beautiful. Like, I would marry that girl. How many times have you heard a guy say, like, oh my God, she's so hot, I would marry her? It's like, what if she has AIDS? What if she's a pathological liar? What if she's like 95,000 guys? What if she's just like a, a serial cheater? Like, what if this girl has massive problems? What if she's bipolar? What if she's got a massive alcohol problem? Whatever, right? Like, dig a little bit deeper, like be discerning, like go into the interaction, like wanting to find out more about the girl, not just accepting her looks as being enough.
What's up, YouTube? This is your boy Simba Savvy, back again with another video for you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into our video topic for today.
What are the common assumptions, the biggest ones that are holding guys back when it comes to attracting women? What are the reframes or the best strategies that you've deconstructed from yourself?
Okay, so the most common problems I would say would be some mindsets, like limiting beliefs is a big one. Like thinking like, oh, I'm not tall, so women aren't going to be attracted to me, or I'm not rich, so I can't get women, or like all these reasons why they're not attracted.
Do those things not matter?
No, they don't matter at all. Like at all. Like the things that actually can make a woman pursue you or chase you or be interested in you.
So limiting beliefs, right? A lot of us, we get in the game and you have a certain view of yourself. Oh, I don't have enough money. Oh, I'm too short. I don't look that good. I don't wear the kind of shoes that she would want, this type of girl would want, right? Now, here's the thing about game that I've learned personally is that you can't have limiting beliefs. There are things about yourself that you can't change. You can't change your height, right? Sometimes you can't just change your financial status. So a lot of the times before a guy approaches a girl, we tend to have this in our head a lot, like, oh, I don't have this, so I'm not going to approach it. Then sometimes you end up missing a great opportunity with a girl that might not even care about all those things that you're thinking about. You might have a great personality, but because you have all these limiting beliefs, you don't approach, and you're going to miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
When I kind of like deconstructed it, the biggest epiphany that I had was the difference of when you are chasing a woman or you're pursuing a woman versus when she's pursuing you, and like the flaws disappearing on both sides. When a woman's chasing you, your flaws disappear, her flaws magnify. Just like when the really, stage 5 clinger girl hits you up all the time, it's just like, you're not interested in her. Maybe she can suck your dick on a Friday night if you strike.
This is true, right? When you are chasing a girl, and unfortunately, when you start the game, you're going to have to chase. Unfortunately, especially when you still don't have all these infinity stones that we're talking about, the money, the looks, everything, right, that you need to work on, right? You're still young. You might need to chase a little bit. But there's a difference between chasing a girl and having her chase you. Women, by default, are in a state of being chased by men. And majority of the men that chase them are the men that they don't want. You understand? And when you are chasing someone, their flaws magnify. When you're actually attractive and you have girls chasing you, the flaws of the girls magnify. Oh, she's just too, maybe sometimes promiscuous, or I don't like this about it. You are actually in a position of choice. This is the default setting of most girls. They are in a position of rejecting guys. So this is why you see girls constantly see flaws in men, because they get chased by, oh, these are the guys. So now she's in a point of choosing which guy does she, oh, he's too short, he's too this. This is why guys have insecurities, because, approaching girls can be tiring sometimes. It can be disheartening, but you can't give up on yourself. You need to continue to, put in the hours and approach, especially if you're a young guy. Approach, learn the game, right? While working on yourself. Don't let these people that say, oh, if you're broke, don't date. You're just going to be a nerd with money who gets used by girls because you never experienced girls when you were young. You need to talk to girls. You need to date girls when you're broke. You need to learn how to finesse. You understand? Even though you are broke. And then still have the self-improvement to be in the gym. Try to hustle for some money. All those are the things, right? Let's continue.
Strike out at 3 a.m., right? But like, the same thing's true for women. Is like when these guys massively over communicate interest, they know they can have them. And then it's like a conversation of, do they want them? And when you're looking at flaws, you're going to find them. Like, you've got flaws, I've got flaws, like everybody has flaws, right? So when you're looking for flaws, they stand out. But when you're pursuing something, like think an auction, like 5 guys want something, 5 guys are bidding for something, and like you really want it. And you have this like, idea in your mind of like when you wanted something, you didn't get it, and this fear of loss. You're not thinking about what's wrong with it. You're just, how do I get it? Right. Just like, and this is probably the most common mistake guys make is they're like, this girl's hot. How do I fuck her?
So this is the thing, right? Over communicating interest, even though you're chasing girls, even though you're not yet at a level where you have the girls that you really want, the attractive girls are not yet chasing you, or at least in numbers, you might have the rare girl, whatever, that may like you, but you're not yet at a position where you have all these girls chasing you. You cannot over communicate interest. Over communicating interest is when you just meet a girl, oh, I like you, I want to do this for you. A lot of guys who have no game and they have money do this, where they meet a girl and the first thing that they do is tell the girl about all these things that they want to do for the girl. I'm going to pay your rent and do this for you, and I have this car and I'm this person. You understand? So you can do that even when you have money sometimes, but even as a young guy, you shouldn't over communicate interest. If you see a girl, you approach her, however it is that you approach it. You can use the environment that you're in, commenting on the environment to kind of break the ice. If you're a funny guy, if you just want to be direct and say, oh, hi, I saw you from over there, just wanted, to introduce myself. I thought you're beautiful, whatever way that you approach girls, right? Or what you've learned or you're learning to, there's so many ways to approach girls, right? But then now, once you talk to the girl and she gives you a number, you can't now over-communicate interest, sending these long texts, and over-communicating interest is like when she's blue-ticking you, she's not replying to your messages. Let's continue.
That's the thought process. Like, oh my God, she's so beautiful. Like, I would marry that girl. How many times have you heard a guy say like, oh my God, she's so hot, I would marry her? It's like, what if she has AIDS? What if she's a pathological liar? What if she's like 95,000 guys? What if she's just like a serial cheater? Like, what if this girl has massive problems? What if she's bipolar? What if she's got a massive alcohol problem? Whatever, right? Like, dig a little bit deeper, like be discerning, like go into the interaction, like wanting to find out more about the girl, not just accepting her looks as being enough. And I think that's the biggest problem that guys make, is that they just like the looks are enough. And then the conversation is like, how do I get her to like me? So you're already going in there with a handicap. Like when a salesman comes in, like he's already coming in from a handicap, versus like when somebody goes into the store because they need milk, they just go to the aisle, they find the milk and they buy it. Versus if you show up at the door and you try and sell them milk, then be like, oh, well, who is this guy? Is the milk old? Can I trust this? You know what I mean? Like the difference, like when you want something, it's just like, how do I get it? It's not, the same conversation. And so
you understand what he's saying there. So you need to be discerning. She might be a rude person. She might not be a nice person. She's not even worth your time. So a lot of guys have you see, the media sexualizes our brain. All we see is nyash on TV and breasts in every show and every music video. So a lot of guys, the moment they see a beautiful woman, they forget about character. They forget about anything else. You can't be that guy. Even though you're a young guy, you're looking for a girlfriend, you still need a girl that brings value to you. Because she wants you to also bring value. She wants you to be fun. Even though you're broke, she wants you to be fun. She wants you to buy her stuff. She wants you to pay for debts. She wants you to do all these things, right? But what does she do for you? Is she kind? Is she a kind person? Is she thoughtful? All those things. You actually also, as much as you approach girls, sometimes you can approach a girl and just see that, you know what? I get it. The moment I approached her, maybe she didn't know me. But then now that I've gotten to know her, she's just a rude person. I don't want her near me. She's a vindictive person. Those things you can learn as you start to see people and spend time with them, right? A lot of guys, older guys, how many guys are in toxic relationships just because the girl is beautiful? They have no discernment. Oh, she's beautiful, I want her. This girl uses him. She cheats on him. She does all these things. That guy will never leave that girl. So even though you're a young guy, you need to have some standards about yourself, where you say, these type of girls or girls that behave in this way, I don't want. I want something more challenging, someone of higher character. These are the people that I want to interact with. Right? Let's continue.
That would be the biggest thing. And I figured that out because I had a big sample size of girls that wanted to me that I screwed it up with, and a big sample size of girls that wanted to me that I also had sex with. And I think that's like, look, in an experiment, you have to have the control group, right? Most guys do not have the control group. Like I literally had girls sending me butt naked photos on Instagram. I want to you. And I screwed it up with those girls. So I'm just saying like only in like cross comparing what worked and what didn't work with two sample sizes of girls that both wanted to sleep with me could I
Given
figure
that
it
you're
out.
the same guy to both of them.
Exactly. Because like, you know, there's girls that just like wouldn't want to sleep with me because I'm Armenian or I have a shitty haircut or whatever, right? Like there's going to be girls that just like wouldn't fuck me, period. So because I had that sample that I knew that they wanted to sleep with me and I screwed it up, I was able to like figure out the things that I was doing wrong. And like one of the big things that I was doing wrong was like I was over communicating interest. I would have problems with the girls that I was like, oh damn, like this girl's hot, you know, she's different, or like, you know, or I really like her or whatever. And my approach would change. And because my approach would change, my results would change.
What about?
So what he's talking about with the sample, right? Okay, Dan Bilzerian is, you know, one of, you know, international playboy. He's been with a lot of women, right? And women choose to be with him. He's a man of high status and all these things, right? But as you talk to more girls, that is a sample. You're going to learn what works and what doesn't work. You approach this girl, you said hi to her, but maybe your energy was just wrong and she didn't give you the time of day. You're going to learn how to say hi in a better way, in a more high vibrational way. With girls, let me tell you something. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not approaching, it's how you approach. So sometimes I wouldn't want to say like guys have different ways of approaching girls, right? Some guys are very quiet and they have a very deep voice, and when they speak, girls just listen. Some guys are more funny. So sometimes there are ways of approaching girls where you don't even have to say hi to her. It could be something happening in the environment that you can just comment. Maybe you're close to her, you can just go close to her and make a comment about what's happening, and she's going to respond. And from there, you build the conversation. You might actually get the name at the end or in the middle of the conversation. You know, understand? Some guys are just funny. Sometimes some guys are direct. Or this, you need, when it comes to approaching girls, right? Different knives. It's like in the kitchen. One knife is a bread knife. One knife is, it depends with the scenario, how you're going to approach the girl, right? So, as you approach girls, you're going to have a sample size. As you date more girls, you're going to even, like, for example, relationships. When you have your first girlfriend, you don't know much about how girls behave, how they get angry, what makes them happy in a relationship, all these things. Why did she cheat? So as you date more girls, you're going to have a bigger sample to know, oh, there, I messed up there. This is why a fool will be with a girl, she cheats on him, and then he's like, oh, women are toxic, she cheated on me with the richer guy. No, there's always something to learn. Why did she cheat on you? These are the questions you should be asking yourself, so you should know what to improve. You are not bitter. You understand? So that sample is important. You're going to learn a lot from having a good sample. Let's continue.
You know, the sort of treat them mean to keep them keen / not signaling sufficient interest that that girl doesn't actually end up responding to you at all. I think, well, he's not interested, so this doesn't go anywhere.
So I wouldn't say treat them mean. I would say change your default setting from nice to challenging. You know, because like a lot of these guys, like they aren't really nice guys. Like, oh, like, I just want to be, it's like, you're not that nice to the fat chick. You're not that nice to the janitor. You're nice to this girl because you want to her, you know? So like this whole idea of like, oh, I'm just being myself, or like, that's another one. It's like, I just want to be myself. Like I want her to.
So be challenging. Once you've approached the girl, I'm assuming she said, oh yeah, I want to take you out, let's go for some ice cream, or I have this party, do you want to show up, whatever. You give her a good time, right? Here's one thing that I want to teach you as a young guy, right? You need to make sure that every time a girl is with you, she's having fun, or it's a good positive memory with you, right? But now, once you've done that, once you've put the best self of yourself out there and she starts ignoring you, you need to be challenging. You can't be sending double texts asking her, oh, why are you not responding? Or I'm just checking up on you. Or good morning, and she's not responding to you. This is where simping now comes in, where I say simping is where the interest is not reciprocated. When you're now sending double, triple, four texts and she's not responding to you, that is simping. But if you're saying good morning to her and she says good morning to you, and your whole vibe is nice, that's not simping at all. But then now, to be a challenge as a guy is to have a standard where if she now doesn't want to give you attention, if she doesn't want to respond to you anymore, or she wants to, maybe sometimes she's pretending, it's when you are okay and say, you know what, it's fine, you move on and talk to other girls. Let's continue.
Like me for me. And it's like, okay, well, there's different versions of you. There's a version of you in an Armani suit. There's a version of you dressed like shit. You know, there's a version of you where you like take care of your diet and work out and like, you know, work at your job. And there's a version of you that just like succumbs to every one of your, you know, impulses. Like, you know, like I drive by McDonald's and like, you know, I just want to eat fries, but I don't, you know, like I want to have Snickers all day, but I don't, you know, like you can make yourself better. And I think, you know, a lot of guys don't do that. Like a lot of guys are just like, I want a girl to like me for me.
So this is again another mindset flow, right? You can't just say I want a girl to like me for me. That's feminine energy, bro. You're a man. Let them say I want a man to like me for me with no self-improvement. You actually need to be somebody who has a bigger purpose. So your gym is your number one priority. Trying to hustle and make money, your school is your number one priority. You are in school, you want to be an accountant, you want to be an engineer, you want to be a musician, all these things. This is the stuff that you should be spending most of your time with, you know, doing. Your purpose, trying to be a better man, so that even if she dates you today, she sees that ambition. If you guys date for a year, she sees that improvement in your skill, she sees that improvement in what you are doing. You understand? Sometimes it's not just about the money. Sometimes for a girl to, because you need a girl to respect you. For a girl to respect you, number one, is to not accept disrespect, but also be a man worth respecting. And a man who respects himself is a man with a purpose, a man who has a vision for himself. Who do you want to be in the future? Who are you going to be in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time? Who do you see yourself? So we have different dreams. You want to be a musician, you want to be an artist, you want to be, I don't know what it is that you want to be. That should be a priority. When it comes to your physique, you want to be somebody who is in shape. So you go to the gym in the morning. She knows my boyfriend wakes up early before his lectures, before whatever it is that you do, even if you're not in uni, and goes to the gym for an hour. He comes back, you know, we have breakfast, whatever it may be. She sees that drive in the gym. You know, you go to church, if you're a spiritual person, to the mosque, whatever it may be, you are improving all these elements. Like I said, being the ultimate Thanos with all the 5 stones is going to take years. Dan Bilzerian is like, I don't know, 40 or something, right? He's been putting in time in the game for years. Now it's easy for him because he's at the top, he's at the pinnacle, he has everything, he has all those experiences, he has the money, he has the status. So girls just chase him now at this point, right? So even though you're still at the bottom, you need to have that mindset as well, the self-improvement mindset.
Guys wouldn't think to do, but that it's more successful than going up, over communicating interest, putting a girl in a position where like she has to decide like accept or reject. And usually when they're like forced to accept or reject, usually reject is the default. And if it's not, then they're probably a whore. If they just like accept every guy that comes up to them.
This is your chasing versus choosing paradigm.
Well, yeah. So you know, get into the interaction and
you understand, over communicating interest is exactly what I was talking about. It's okay, work on your charisma, of course. You're gonna have to learn a few things, watch a few YouTube videos if you don't know how to approach girls, right? But then over communicating interest is no way she's rejected you, even sometimes in a face-to-face. The first time you meet her, she's rejected, but you continue pushing. This is where it becomes weird. Now you're being a weird. Okay, she gave you a number. You continue texting even though she's not replying.
Like, you know, ask questions, dig deeper, get a little bit of information about her, you know? I mean, Neil Strauss had a good one when he was on with Jessica Alba, and he said, you know, looks are common in LA. Aside from your looks, like, what would your friends say are the 3, you know, best qualities about you? And like in that one question, he immediately like pulled away her looks, which was like one of her strongest attributes. Like nobody give a fuck about Jessica Alba if she's ugly, right? So it's literally like her superpower. He just sucked it right out of the conversation. He's also digging deeper. And now he's got her in a position of like qualifying herself to him and selling herself to him. She's telling him why she's good, you know? And so that would be a much better start of an interaction than like, you know, I think you're so beautiful. Like I just had to come over here and, you know, by the way, I'm a doctor, you know, and I drive a Lamborghini. And
desexualize the girl. When you're speaking to a girl, sometimes she's heard that she has beautiful eyes all her life. She's heard that she's beautiful all her life. Sometimes desexualize her. make yourself a challenge, like I said, instead of just complimenting you on things that she was just given by God. The ass was just given by God. The boobs were just given by God. The face was just given by God. So I hope you learned something. My channel is, I love young guys, to teach young guys, because I'm an older guy. I'm 60 years old. Guys, till my next video, I'm out.